Yo, welcome to the Bratskis show. We got the man them, the bros, you know what I'm saying? Here we are going to be responding to the news. This is the pilot episode, so bear with us. Just so to introduce myself, I'm RT, also known as the Hype Man, also known as Oris Maisky, the filmmaker. I'm probably going to be the most controversial one in this episode. So, take it with a grain of salt. Each person's views are their own, first and foremost. Please introduce yourself.
What's good? I'm Questions for Later, Ukrainian, Canadian. Been living in London for a while now, and in the UK for a long time. This is the first episode of which should be a cool discussion between some bros, some Ukrainian, some Eastern European bros about news of the world.
All right, my name is Alex G. I've been British Ukrainian, been living here over 27 years, came here when I was 7 years old in 98. I'm 34 now. So yeah, this is a show, we got together. So we got someone who was born here, a guy who's obviously migrated from Ukraine to Canada from a young age. Now he's in the UK, and like myself as well. So we got together to discuss things about the news, what's going around. We're going to be discussing about London news, world news, culture. We're going to be talking about a bit of AI, just a reaction videos, but from our opinions, I guess. And we're also going to have a bit of controversy. Some people are going to be positive, some people are going to be negative, but it's good. And it's nice to hear our opinions. So yeah, let's go.
I think jumping straight into it, as people that live in London, Reform Party, right wing, we're seeing a rise in right wing nationalism. Let's just straight into it, straight into the hot topic. How are we feeling as immigrants in this country? How are we feeling about the government that's in power versus, I guess the big news is reform, and there's local elections across the country happening right now, and Suella Braverman is the
latest defector, right?
Big name. So she's in part of the Tory party, and she's now defected further right. Some call her a coconut, you know what I'm saying?
But there's two people, we call it defected, no? She was defected this week, and there was a guy defected 2 weeks ago, a week ago, no?
There was 3 or 4.
3 people already.
There's quite a few now.
And what's some of the reasons they're defecting?
I think I don't know, but I think maybe, Reform Party was sort of like a joke, right? People are like, oh, it's like the super right-wing party. They might get a small percentage of votes, but they've obviously been gaining a lot of popularity. And even if you look at opinion polls, and I think maybe some of these Tory candidates felt like, look, this might be the future. They might do well for the right-wing side of politics. So maybe they're losing side of Tories because they lost the last election. And I mean, there were some predictions of people saying that Nigel Farage might be the next prime minister. Not predictions, but even polls were saying at one point. So it's not fringe politics anymore. They're becoming mainstream, which is
scary. I want to say something. You said at the beginning, immigrants.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself an immigrant, even though you were born to Ukrainian parents?
Yeah, of course, I'm a first-gen immigrant. Do you know what I'm saying? My parents came here without speaking any English. Do you know what I'm saying? I was made in the Soviet Union, but born here. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm on that border. Do you know what I'm saying?
Even though you were born here and you got a British passport, you see yourself still as an immigrant?
I'm first-gen immigrant, innit? There's first-gen, second-gen, third-gen, innit? You can, some people claim immigrant status, I heard 6th-gen, 7th-gen, do you know what I'm saying?
But who sees you as an immigrant? Do you see yourself as an immigrant, or do you see someone from Britain sees you as an immigrant, like British or English people? Who are you comparing yourself to?
I think I definitely get away with being English passing. You know what I'm saying? Because I can speak the clean English. You know what I'm saying? I don't show up as an immigrant per se. I've seen also friction, say, with Polish people, Romanians. Now there is some anti-Ukrainian sentiment, and I don't necessarily fall into that category per se because I'm a clean English. I was born here, and as far as like being English goes, that's basically what qualifies you.
But if I met you on the street and the way you're talking, I'll be straight away thinking you're a Londoner. Then I'll be asking you what area you're from, and that's it.
You wouldn't say, which country you're from?
No.
I wouldn't get that. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't like necessarily fall into that category, but obviously my surname, do you know what I'm saying? Like when you write forms, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like even my mum gave me like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have an English name, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I personally don't experience like the same shit, but obviously from London as well. It's not really an issue here. Like,
But what about you, Finn?
you've been to Scotland as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I moved here to like study and stuff, right? Maybe like in Canada, I felt more like an immigrant, while here I moved already as sort of Canadian, right? So, I don't know, I mean, I'm foreign, but I'm not like repping, immigrant to an extent, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, because when you say immigrant, who are we comparing ourselves to, you know?
I mean, because there's immigrants, people who like literally fresh off the boat, struggling, can't speak English or don't know people, and they have the most challenging life. And then there's...
But immigrant doesn't mean you're struggling.
Exactly, yeah, like immigrant could be anything. Yeah, like, I mean, we're all sort of like immigrants in one way or another, you know? There's different levels of it.
Because I know some people, like English people, will turn around and say, like, turn around and say, all of us are immigrants because we are not from this country for centuries or so, you know?
I guess you're right. I think
it's just like Ukrainians. Agree. You know, I'll be honest with you, others, both of you. I'll be honest with you, yeah? When I saw a black guy in Ukraine and he's a blogger and he sees himself as Ukrainian, because usually when people say Ukraine, the first people what comes up in your mind, white people, Slavic, Eastern European that live there. Just like in Africa, you know, when people think about Africans, they think of black people, but there are white people that are born in that country as well.
Or so there's like many Indian people in some of the, like I think Kenya and Ghana and South Africa, right?
No, I think that's an important topic, even like distinction as well, because for English people, or at least what the media is feeding us, is they've moved the goalposts, because before with Brexit, the issue was there was too many Polish and too many Romanians here. Now the Polish are going home because their GDP is doing better per capita, or is on like supposed to be doing better in like the next 10 years.
It's on a good trajectory.
Yeah, all of a sudden, where's the Polish? Oh, they're leaving us. Why we got the whoever brown people on their boats? Do you know what I'm saying? And they don't integrate into culture. Well, 10 years ago, you guys left the EU, right? And because of racism then. And so the goalposts have kind of shifted. But again, there's still like anti-Ukrainian sentiment. Why are Ukrainians getting this preferential treatment when, you know, so-and-so isn't, right? But at the end of the day, like...
Yeah, but okay. Let me ask you this. So why are Ukrainians getting that treatment? How comes they getting that treatment, but no other nationalities getting that treatment? Is it because of the war? Is it because they're white and Christians and they're closer in Europe?
Well, yeah, I mean, so first and foremost, like the UK owes a debt to Ukraine. The UK signed a referendum promising that it would defend Ukraine in case it was attacked if it gave up nuclear weapons.
The 94 Budapest Memorandum.
Yeah, so first and foremost, like UK is not doing near enough what it promised it would do. So it's already like falling short on its commitments, like to its European partners. It's important for us to like, in Europe, do you know what I'm saying, have allegiances. Like we defended Poland against Nazi Germany. That's why we entered World War II. And we knew that, talking right now as a British person. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I'm representing Britain, but come on, Britain. You know what I'm saying? We used to be a fucking country, mate. You know, like, we used to like, bro, go to war and fuck shit up. Not like those fucking Yanks. Like the Yanks go to war to make money. That's what America does. America starts wars and it needs to profit from war. Britain knew that it was going to enter a costly World War II to defend Poland like a European territory, that it didn't have to be. Like even now there's right-wing like influencers who are on their podcasts. Their point is you didn't have to go and defend Poland. Like you should, as if like England should have just let Nazi Germany take Poland. So again, it's a similar thing here. Like there is a debt, like from a government geopolitical perspective, like there's United States, Russia, and UK put their put themselves on the line for the protection of Ukraine.
So what you're saying, Ores, is that UK owns Ukraine because of the Budapest memorandum. That's it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it owes help. Like it's supposed to owe military help. Like it's given refugee help. It said, okay, we'll welcome in the refugees. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's now a new spin on it. Like, or at least when it was happening, I remember the spin was like, oh well, it's because they're white and Christian, right? And it's like, yes, kind of, but not really. Like, of course, like countries that are next to each other are going to be similar. So, of course, Great Britain is going to be more similar to Ukraine because they're both in Europe as opposed to.
But let me go deeper. So, what about these countries that were colonized by UK, like Africa, for instance, Asia?
Yeah.
So, you tell me these people don't have the same right like Ukrainians to come here in this country? Or is it because the problem that UK sees the fact that they're not integrating? What is the reason?
They don't have the same right because
But they were colonized, so therefore they actually have there is some debt as well, I guess, right? There's some
100%. Like there is a debt, and what the debt is between the colonies, right? It's unfortunately this
it's not on a memorandum. Maybe,
here's the point blank fact. Yeah, if Ukraine collapsed the day that Russia invaded, no one would have given a shit, and Ukraine would have become part of Russia, and it would have been over. Not from no help from America, not from no help from Europe. Like if Ukrainian soldiers didn't stand up for themselves, and if they didn't represent themselves, they would happen the same thing to them like it's happened to all the Russian territories like Dagestan, Chechnya, how they're taking Georgia. Like all of them guys are getting crushed, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the only reason Ukraine stands on its 2 feet is because itself as a country stood on its 2 feet and said, no, like we're going to the last man with AK-47s and Molotov cocktails, we're going to fucking fight for ourselves. And they have a government which you need to establish bodies within government to do geopolitical negotiations. It sucks that there's countries that have been invaded by the UK, by Britain, and those countries are corrupt and they might not have the bodies established to be able to negotiate good immigration policy. I remember when the war started in Ukraine, it was oh, there was racism towards blacks. No, there wasn't. There was racism towards black Africans. There wasn't racism to black English or black Americans because those embassies and those countries told their citizens to get out of Ukraine, whereas the African countries told their citizens, no, there's no war. What are you talking about? We don't need to evacuate you guys. So, of course, there's still racism, in Ukraine. There's racist Ukrainians. There's racist English people. There's racism all over the world. There's colorism. That shit is whack, 100%. And, I would love for Britain to, for sure. We need certain colonies. We brought people here from the Windrush, say after the Second World War, because there wasn't enough men. So we brought black people here from the Caribbean. It's disgusting that, black people still that came here from the Caribbean haven't got their papers, haven't, do you know what I'm saying, being established into the country. Or there's Jamaicans that are or there's English people that are deported back to Jamaica and Jamaicans that can't even come here. I agree with you. That is
But I'm going to make 2 points. I'm sorry to offend. I'm going to say 2 points.
Yeah.
You're saying that Ukraine defending itself against Russia. But where was Ukraine? How come they couldn't defend themselves when Crimea happened? Because they didn't have the backing from the West. There's no way. You need the backing from the West to push against Russia.
No, I would say nothing to do with the West too. Also, by that point, our internal army was almost in collapse. We didn't. In Crimea, there were much more Russian servicemen because of the bases that Ukraine was renting out to Russia than Ukrainian. There was the Russian Black Sea Fleet and stuff. We had only minor bases, so therefore we were overpowered in our own territory by an opponent. Plus, also our army in the years before that, probably 10 years, was being looted. There wasn't funding, there wasn't training. It was old. Because of 2014, right, and what happened in Crimea, then we had the Donbass war, and then when we started fighting, people started self-organizing those battalions, and then by 2022, when we had the full-scale invasion, because of all that experience for the past 8-10 years, we were able to repel because we had these self-organized battalions. We started getting help from external experts. That's the thing. But I think 2014 is because, for example, previous presidents just looted the army. There wasn't funding. There wasn't a system. Our army was so internally weak and corrupt that it couldn't really do anything.
Good point. And second, you were talking about blacks and stuff like that. It's a good point because you, as a white Ukrainian or British, saying that next time we should invite black people here or black Ukrainian here. Let them say how it is. Because you see, black people that are going to be listening to the podcast to the show, they might not believe us. So when you invite a black Ukrainian that was in the border of Poland that happened, let him tell the story. Because the people are not going to believe me.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, yeah.
Because they're gonna say we're defending Ukraine because we're white Ukrainians. We're defending obviously Ukraine. Of course, we're gonna defend our own country, even though we know there is racism in Ukraine. There might be. I don't know. I really don't know. There might be not. But let's invite these Afro-Ukrainians. Let them say their piece. Let's invite some British people, black here, and let them talk about. Because that video went viral on social media, and a lot of black people here. A lot of black people here in the UK, when they hear the word Ukraine, because of what happened in the past in 2022, that's why they don't support Ukraine.